Alright, everyone, this is Ed. Welcome back to the King's Speech. Almost forgot my glasses. So we're finally getting back around to the read-throughs weekend. So finished recording Shonen Jump videos. Just finished recording a video for the latest volume of Monstrous. So there's going to be a lot of good content coming your way this weekend. So if you haven't already, please do consider like, commenting, subscribing, all that good stuff. But yeah, so we're getting around to Monstrous and Black Hammer for the read-throughs this weekend. If I feel up to it tomorrow, I might also get around to the next volume of Battle Angel Alita as well. If not, expect that to resume sometime next week. But yeah, like I said, a lot of good content coming your way. So if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Especially like I mentioned before, these couple of months tend to be the hardest for me. So seeing people leave comments, like stuff like that, really does mean a lot to me. So if you'd like to do that, that would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, let us get into it with Black Hammer number 13. So it just hit me as I was like reborrowing the book and everything to get ready, that the first omnibus covers 1 to 13, so this might be the last chapter of this omnibus. So I've already got the second one ready to go, so I might end up just making this a short video just covering the last part of Omnibus 1, and then I'll do a separate video starting Omnibus 2 for the first couple of them. But yeah, just in case you're wondering why this video is like shorter than normal, that would probably be why. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm super excited. So we have Black Hammer number 13. So we pick up back with like a flashback to Spiral City boxing, where you see Abe kind of going through the motions, like opening up his gym, kind of sitting there on the bench because I assume he's getting like no customers, going home, sitting in front of the TV, just drinking, spacing out. And then on one day, as he's closing up, he's walking home in the rain. He sees like this electricity coming out of his fingers with a shrack as he just disappears. And you have, we pick up where we left off with the last volume with the cops kind of coming to pick him up to question about Earl, the sheriff's disappearance. And goes, "Mr. Slamkowski, when was the last time you saw Sheriff Trueheart?" He's like, "I already told you, Deputy, I hadn't seen him in at least a week. Now I was at the diner." As again, you were at the diner because you have been seeing Sheriff Trueheart's ex-wife Tammy, correct? And by seeing, my partner means romantically. And he's like, "I know what he means, and yes, I'm seeing Tammy, but it had nothing to do with Trueheart going missing. You're wasting your time questioning me when you should be out there looking for him." Well, it's like, "Well, it seems to me that you're the only man in this town with any motive to harm Sheriff Trueheart. In fact, he warned us about you only days before he went missing." It's like, "Warned you? Ha! Let me tell you something, Sonny. Good old Sheriff Trueheart was in the diner last night, and he threatened Tammy. And I do mean threatened. So maybe you should think twice about his character." And then one of the sheriffs is like, "So you did have a motive?" He's like, "Jesus, this is ridiculous." It's like, "Do you have a lawyer, Mr. Slamkowski?" He's like, "A lawyer? Are you charging me?" It's like, "Well, that remains to be." Accused as Madame Dragonfly just like teleports into the room with, "Sorry to interrupt, gentlemen. Abraham is totally innocent. He is free to go." Oh, Christ, doing the fucking like Force Jedi mind trick. Like, "Abe, you're totally innocent, and you're free to go. And you're sorry for wasting his time. And we sure are sorry to have wasted your time, sir." He's like, "No problem." He's like, "What the hell do you think you're doing, Dragonfly?" It's like, "What do you think? I'm getting you free." So, "But you can't just do that." And as she's like fading away, he's like, "Actually, I can do whatever I want, Abraham." And you see a flashback to Gale on Frankenstein's ship with, let's just sail, or sorry, Gale sighing and going, "Let's just sail away, Sherlock, and never come back." It's like, "Won't you miss it though, Gale?" It's like, "Miss what?" "Being Golden Gale, the adventure, the action." It's like, "I told you, I have everything I need right here. I'm done with that. You're all I want, Sherlock." It's like, "I feel the same way, Gale. I never thought I'd say this to anyone, but look, Gale?" It's like, "Sherlock, what?" And you see her also fading away with a shrack as lightning strikes. It's like, "Gale!" Oh, God. And you see her back on the farm. It's like glasses, smoke, holding a beer. He's like, "Oh, hey, Gale, what's up?" And Lucy comes out to talk to her. It's like, "The sun?" It's like, "Right. I think I'm going to take a walk back to the end of the field. I want to see if Madame Dragonfly is around. Want to come?" Gail's like, why in the fuck would you want to see her? It's like, I've barely seen her since I got here. I thought I might ask her a few questions. It's like, good luck with that, kid. It's like, always a pleasure, Gale. He's like, I can't say I really knew all that much about Madame Dragonfly, even before she and the others disappeared during the Cataclysm. All I know is that she's spooky and from all accounts very, very powerful. No idea what her real name is or if she ever had one. And as she's knocking at the door, it's like, the woman is the definition of a mystery. And I do love a mystery. And as Lucy tries to peek in, she sees like giant eyeball glaring back at her. It's like, okay, so maybe I don't love all mysteries. She just like walks away. And we see a flashback again to Barbalian as he's like abandoning his cop uniform, flying off into space. And as he's flying out, you see the same Shrek hitting him as it zaps him out of existence. And you see as Abe heads back to the diner, Tammy's like, Abe, you okay? It's like, not really. We need to talk. I just spent 2 hours being grilled by those dim-witted deputies about Trueheart. They think I had motive to harm him. Tammy's like, well, you did, Abe. It's like, Tammy, you know I'd never really hurt him. Not like that. It's like, what am I supposed to think, Abraham? You storm off all full of piss and vinegar and then Earl goes missing? It's like, Tammy, I went over to his house after we talked and he never answered the damn door. I didn't even see him. It's like, look, I know this whole thing is strange, but... Strange? Abe, my husband is missing. It's like, ex-husband, Tammy, you can't even stand him. It's like, that doesn't mean I want him dead. It's like, of course not. That's not what I... Look, I'm sorry I got angry. I'm being insensitive. Let's just... When do you get off your shift? It's like, Tammy? It's like, look, Abe, maybe it's best if we just cool it for a while. It's like, what? Tammy, are you serious? You can't really think I had anything to do with all of this. It's like, no, but what? I mean, I thought we were... It's like, so did I. But this whole thing with Earl, it's really messed me up. I can't think straight. I just need to be alone right now, Abe. It's like, Tammy, don't do this. We can get through this together, whatever it is. Like, I'll call you in a few days. Just go, okay? And you see a Shrek of, moons of Mars, where am I? And Gale's like, Barbalian. And Dragonfly's like, wonderful, the gang's all here. It's like, we're on New World, Barbie. We all got zapped here just like you. It's like, but why? It's like, okay, Starlock, what gives? Why have you gathered us all here? And you see Starlock going, I'm sorry to have summoned you so hastily, Abraham Slam. And I'm sorry for taking the liberty of putting you all back in your costumes as well. But I think you are going to need them. And Gale's like, look, pal, I'm retired. Whatever it is, I'm out. Send me back home. Now. And Black Hammer himself was like, just hold on, Golden Gale. Wait until you hear what Starlock has to say. And Dragonfly's like, very well, fucking Christ, of course. Very well, Black Hammer. Get on with it then, Starlock. You have a great evil has arisen. The balance has been upset. My dark counterpart, Anti-God, is free, and you are all that stands in his way. So Anti-God very much seems like a combination of Darkseid and Thanos, with like him reaching out like this giant hand towards Earth. Ah, God, what the hell was the captain's name? God, I cannot remember. Colonel Weird. Sorry, Colonel Weird goes, it is true. I have seen this dark mass moving through the cosmos. Anti-God is coming. And Gale's like, what about your usual cosmic crew, Starlock? The Light Riders. Why can't they keep Anti-God in check like they always have? And Slam's like, I gotta say, I agree with Golden Gale. After my recent failures, I've hung up the mask too. Surely there are better candidates to deal with this. And Hammer's like, you don't understand, Abraham. We're all that's left. The Golden Family, Y-Force, and the Light Riders are all dead. Anti-God has killed them. Christ. And you see like all the Golden Gales, the other ones like floating out in space, like all these wounds and like body parts ripped off. Gale's like, no! He's like, I'm sorry, Gale, but now you see what we face. Even now, the skies above Spiral City are opening. Anti-God is almost here. It's like, I know what you're being asked to do is hard. My wife and daughter in Spiral City had loved nothing more than to be able to go home to them right now, but we can't. It may well be suicide, but we have no choice. We have to make a stand. And Slam's like, but what can I do against a threat like this? I can barely take down a couple of street punks anymore. Gale's like, well, I'm not going if you're not, Abe. Us old-timers have to stick together. And Barbalian's like, she's right. You're our heart. You've always been our heart, Abe. The world is depending on us. We need you, Abe. And they're like, give him a little pep talk. Like, right. Okay. Then what are we standing around for? There's work to be done. Barbie's like, that's more like it. It's like, hell, we may die down there, but at least we'll die together, right? It's like, right. And Weird's like, yes, together. And Gale's like, come on, Goth Queen, join in or go home. And Dragonfly with just like this unpleasant look on her face, like, fine. Together no matter what. And you see as Barbie, Gale, and Abe are all sitting around the table looking despondent. They've all given up. And the worst part is I can already see why. I mean, where else can I look for answers? There is nowhere else, only here. You know, it could almost be peaceful here if it wasn't so damn claustrophobic. Maybe I'm the foolish one. Maybe I'm going through the same motions they all did when they first arrived. Maybe they already know better, know that it's useless. Dad didn't have to live through this at least. He was never like me in that way. He didn't ask questions. He didn't overthink everything. He didn't overthink things. He just acted. He did what needed to be done. I don't even know why I'm writing this. There's no newspapers I can publish it in. No need to upload it to, I guess. I guess I'm writing to you, Dad. Then a crazy idea hits me. It's not that I'm talking to you, Dad. It's almost like you're talking to me. And your voice, it's like drums, and I realize it's coming from the hammer. And you see Weird kind of phasing into the living room with, it's almost time. So you're calling me, telling me it's time. And he was like, time? Time for what, Colonel? It's like the event, Abraham. The moment that all of this has been built around. It's like, Daddy? Oh, God, literal chills. You see her picking up the hammer. You see a cracoom as a little lightning bolt. It's like, the hell was that? He was like, something isn't right. And as they head outside, Barbie's like, moons of Mars, is that? It's like, Lucy? And you see her all costumed up holding the hammer. He's like, no, Abraham, I'm the Black Hammer, and I remember everything. Oh, fuck, that's getting excited. I'm so excited. You have a to be continued. Oh, man. We get a assumed short cover story, and you have Morning, Colonel, as Abe heads out, and he's like, I said good morning, Colonel. He's like, is it? It's like, I think so. It's like, oh, I had not noticed. As he's fading away, you see Gale just like laying out in the field smoking. He's like, excuse me? It's like, you are excused. It's like, well, you're not. I was drinking here. You can't just sneak up on someone and float over them when they're getting their buzz on. It's like, I'm sorry, Gale. I was distracted. It's like, what's new? It's like, that is. It's like, what is? I don't see anything. It's like, no, you cannot. It is in the parazone. I think I just saw an entity born into the parazone. It's like, born? What, you mean other things actually live in that place? How come other things can go into the parazone but we can't? It's like, I cannot answer that. The parazone is a dimension of great mystery. Most of it is far beyond my comprehension. But this new entity, I cannot help but think I have seen it before. Yes, I do believe I have. Curious. And he just like warps into the world. It's like, hey, you can't just leave me. Huh, what a weirdo. And Gale sees Dragonfly staring out nearby and just gives her the finger and goes, what are you looking at, Creepella? And as he goes, Colonel Weird goes into the Phantom Zone. He's like, there you are. Yes, I have seen you before. I know it. But I can't quite remember where. So many things slip my mind these days. And you see him like following it. It's like, and there's another devastating left hook. The champ is in deep trouble now. And there's another devastating deep hook. The champ is in trouble now. Thwap. And now the contender, this young upstart from Spiral City, Abe Slamkowski, really has the reigning heavyweight champion, Joe Lawson, on the ropes. This Lawson, you see Abe thinking, this Lawson sure is one tough cookie. I just need to hold on a bit longer. If I can win this match, it'll really put my boxing gym on the map. And you see a Shrek as like this eye tentacle bursts onto the scene. It's like, what in the blazes is that? It's like, now wait a minute. Something seems to be happening here. Some kind of flash of light. I have no idea what I'm seeing here, folks. I don't even know how to begin to describe it. And you see a gag as it latches onto the opponent, goes, that thing has attached itself to poor Joe Lawson's face. And you see a Shrek as it fires a beam onto Abe with an ugh. It's like, cripes. That thing seems to have taken control of Lawson, and boy does it pack a punch. Whatever it is, it's turned the champ into a monster. I have to do something, and quick. You see, moments later, luckily I was able to slip away in all the panic, and even more fortunate, I remembered to bring my Abraham Slam costume with me to the fight, just in case. I'm worried the people out there might recognize Abe Slamkowski and Abraham Slam are the same person, but my trusty mask should be enough to throw him off the scent. And you know, as the alien boxer's like flinging people around. It's like, it's total pandemonium here, folks. The Spiral Police have arrived, but they're having no luck containing the champ Joe Lawson, who seems to be under the control of some strange entity. Like, sorry about this, champ. It's like, grr? It's like, now wait a minute. What's this? Could it be? Do we have a new challenger? And you see him coming in with an uppercut and a thwap. And oh boy, what a treat, folks. It's Spiral City's very own costume crime fighter, Abraham Slam. It's like, what an uppercut, but the champ is getting up. It's like, uh-oh, I think I may have just made him angrier. And you see another Shrek as he's sent flying back with a blast. Like, oof. It's like, better think quickly, Abe. This is more than just a boxing match to whatever that thing is that's possessing Lawson. Jeff, ouch! And Abraham Slam counters with a heavy body shot. It's like, sorry, champ, I know that was a bit of a low blow. You see, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It goes, wham, bam, you're about to get slammed. And he finally knocks it off of Lawson. It's like, wowie zowie, what a punch. It's like, whatever that thing was, I think I scared it off. And don't look now, folks, but Lawson is down and out. That means we have ourselves a new champ. That's right, Abraham Slam is the new middleweight champion of Spiral City. It's like, as nice as it is to be the champ, I can't help but feel like I haven't seen the last of that strange creature. And you see the new middleweight champion of Spiral City. And Weird's like, so odd. Had Abraham told me about this entity? Perhaps he did. There's so many things people tell me. Sometimes I hear them, sometimes they're like echoes. Echoes upon echoes. And it's hard for me to decide which to focus on. The creature's movement's like a pattern. All part of the structure of things. I feel powerless to change its course. All I can do is follow. It's like, Rex, are you sure you should be doing that? It should seem so dangerous. It's like, I have to sail, baby. These jocks can't just come to Spiral City and act like they own the roads. Got like a little Grease tribute with, Rex, are you sure? It's like, I have to, Gale, baby. These jocks can't just come to Spiral City and act like they own the roads. Good old Rex Spacer is going to show them the Spiral City belongs to us. It's like, big talk, Rex. I think your girlfriend might have a better chance against me than you. He's like, you have no idea, Dirk Atwood. All I would have to do is say my magic words and wham! Golden Gale would wipe that smile off your face. But the last thing I want is for Rex Pacer to see his girl Gale is really just a little kid when she becomes Golden Gale. It's like, wish me luck, baby. And she kisses him with a go get him, tiger. And you have a vroom vroom. It's like, alright, on my mark, get ready, go! It's like, wait, what's that weird glowing thing? Whatever it is, it's right in their path. See a Shrek and a Splurch. It's like, what in the blue blazes is that? It's like, whoa, stop! And you see the cars just crashing together. Gale's like, whatever's going on, I can't do anything to help Rex like this. Like it or not, I need to become Golden Gale. It's like, Zafram! And she goes and you see that the eye thing is like taking over her Rex's or Dirk's face. It's like, whatever you are, you're not Dirk Atwood. He may be a creep, but he's not a monster. And you see him firing off like laser beams at Gale's like, okay, that almost hurt. But if Rex is injured, I'm going to do a lot more than just hurt you. He's like, come on, you get off. He's like, pulls it off. It's like, ugh, so gross. What is this thing anyway? It's like, whatever it is getting away. I should chase after it, but it's like, Rex. It's like, oh, Rex, baby, please, hold on. It's like, who? It's like, it's me, Rex, it's Gale. I feel Rex unfortunately been killed by, it's like, he's dead. My first true love, gone forever. I don't feel golden at all. I feel like I've been cursed since that old wizard gave me the magic word. And Weird's like, poor Gale. Perhaps I should destroy it. It seems to only cause pain. Yet, the moment my ray gun takes aim, I know that this is not right. This is not the way it's supposed to happen, is it? I do not destroy it, at least not yet. It's like there's more to the story, things that happen, things that I am powerless to change. You see, Mark Marks, private detective. Yeah, it was the middle of the summer and Spiral City was on the verge of boiling over. I hadn't had a single case in weeks, now starting to question my decision to quit the Spiral PD 2 months earlier. I had my reasons for quitting the force, but I was starting to wonder if I had made a mistake. Maybe nobody in this stinking town wanted a washed-up private eye, especially one that's secretly from Mars. And then just like that, a tall drink of water came waltzing into my office and changed everything. I was like, I'm sorry, the door was unlocked. I'm looking to hire a detective, but if this is a bad time... He's like, no, it's not a bad time. What can I do for you, mister? Actually, it's about my wife. It's a delicate situation, actually, a little embarrassing. Let me guess. You think the little lady is running around on you and you want me to follow her and snap a few photos. It's more common than you might think. Nothing to be embarrassed about, mister. It's like Brooks, Peter Brooks. And you misunderstand, it's not that. You see, it was me who had the affair. She walked in on me and, well... This affair I was having, it wasn't of the usual sort, if you catch my drift, Mr. Marks. It was with another, It's like, yes, I think I understand, Mr. Brooks. So at any rate, she's missing. At first I thought she's disgusted by what she saw and ran off, but it's been a week now and there were the scratches. It's like, scratches? What do you mean? It's like in the hallway near our door. I found some scratches on the wall and door frame. I should have called the police, but given the, delicate nature of the situation... I thought maybe someone like you would be more discreet. Like someone like me? A private investigator. Oh, yes, of course. You must be used to all sorts of sordid things in your line of work, Mr. Marks, but if this was too much for you to handle, maybe I can... It's like, no, please, I'll take the case, Mr. Brooks. This is, right up my alley, actually. Excellent, so will you start right away? It's like, yes, I'll need to see your house, the scratches, and then there's the matter of my fee. Money is no object. Just find her, Mr. Marks. We may not have a conventional marriage, but I do love her, in my way. Please, just find her. Yeah, so I start at the scene of the crime. The humidity in Spirals tonight has me longing for the dry air of Mars. I feel like I'm swimming through glue, but it's good to be out of the office for a change. No doubt about it, there was a struggle here. But the strangest part of all, the scratches don't look like they were made by human fingers. In fact, the whole thing is starting to give me the chills. Something isn't right here and I need to get to the bottom of it fast. Luckily, I have a few advantages that normal PIs don't, including my inherent Martian sixth sense, or as I like to call it, my Barbadar. Whatever took Miss Brooks isn't far from here. It left an invisible ectoplasmic trail I could follow in my sleep. I don't need my Barbadar to know I found my prey. This place stinks of something not of this world. Start to think that maybe this is a job for Barbalian, not Mark Marks, when I get blindsided. And what I see next pretty much makes up my mind for me. You have an uh-oh. It's like, Mrs. Brooks, I presume? And you see the eye blobs also lashed onto her face. It's like, just stand still, ma'am. I'm here to help. It's like, whatever that entity is, it's attached itself to her. It made her extra quick. It's like, let me get that thing off your... Oof! It's like, it's just flying back with a punch. It's like an extra strong. I'm holding back. Can't help myself. All I see is poor Miss Brooks trapped under that thing. That's my mistake. I'm not fighting Miss Brooks. I'm fighting that thing. And it's time I showed her what Barbalian can really do. A blast of my Martian vision should do the trick. And you see a screen. It's on the run. It's like, not so fast. And as he tries to jam his hand through the portal, he turns it back. It's like it's burning. He's like, Gah! It's like, I never felt pain like that before. Whatever's on the other side of that portal is more powerful than anything I've ever encountered. It's like, what kind of monster are you? It's like, I'm here to help you, but... It's like, Martha! It's like, Peter! It's like, get away from her! It's like, Blam! No, you don't understand! It's like, no time to explain, and how can I blame for thinking I'm the monster? Maybe that's all the city is really full of. Not people at all, but different kinds of monsters. Miss Brooks thought her husband was a monster because of whom he loved. And then there's me. I have so many secrets they'd form a mob if they really knew. So I run. I let the night swallow me up. I let the heat and the shadow take hold and slip away. Maybe one day I'll stay hidden and I won't come back at all. You have a Shrek It seems to be moving faster now. Harder and harder for me to keep up and to keep past and present straight. Almost too much to think about. And you see now it's Madame Dragonfly with, "You've come to take another glimpse into the darkest corners of my cabinet of horrors? Very well, though I must warn you, I cannot control all the things that creep and crawl within these cursed walls. You see, I am merely the custodian of the damned domain. But I see you are brave, you do not flee. Only time will tell if your decision is wise or foolhardy. So then let us begin, shall..." It's like, now who the hell is that? You hear a knock at the door. It's like, "Oh, would you hold your bloody horses already? I'm coming, I was in the middle of a story." And you have Madame Dragonfly? It's like, "Yes, we need your help." And you see Slam, Gale, and Barbalian outside as you have, "I told you, Abraham, we could figure this out without her." It's like, "Be nice, Gale." It's like, "This is me being nice." It's like, "I can't imagine what the likes of you all would want with me." It's like, "It's not us who need you, madam. Black Hammer is in trouble." It's like, "What the blazes is on his face?" It's like, "We're not exactly sure. We've all faced it at one time or another in the past, and it escaped each time. We found Joseph Blackhammer like this. It seemed he had a great battle with it in downtown Spiral before succumbing. Well, we can't leave him out there. Bring him in." It's like, "Do I have to go inside?" It's like, "Gale!" And you see hiss as there's like a skeleton cat inside hissing at her. "Yeah, if you said you've all faced this thing before, did it attach itself to you too?" And Abe's like, "No, other people it controlled. Other people. It controlled them, gave them powers, and turned them into maniacs. So we can only guess that Joseph's strength is keeping it from controlling him too. The struggle between him and this entity seems to have put them both into a coma of sorts." And Dragonfly's like, "Well, it's not magical in nature. How'd you get the parasite off the other victims?" And Gale's like, "I ripped it off. So did Barbie. And Abe punched it off. But none of that is working this time." He's like, "Punched it off. How clever of you all." Gale's like, "Why don't you watch that sass mouth of yours, witch lady?" He's like, "Why don't you try and make me, little girl?" It's like, ladies, please. We need to think about Joseph. We can't leave him like this. He has a little girl of his own back home. Look, Madame Dragonfly, we are really sorry to barge in on you like this, but we've tried everything else and, well, I think we need to try magic. And they say you're the one to talk to when it comes to Hocus Pocus in Spiral City." He's like, "Oh, I see how it is. None of you costume champions is the time of day for me until you need something. Then you come here with your cape between your legs." And Barbie's like, "What is that supposed to mean?" It's like, "Oh, don't act all innocent. Don't think I didn't see your little meeting last year when you were thinking of forming your own team. I can't help but notice you had no interest in inviting me to that, but now when you need magic, well..." And Abe's like, "I'm really sorry, Madam D. Honestly, that whole superhuman, or the whole super team idea went nowhere. Besides, I just didn't think someone like you would even want to be invited." Dragonfly's like, "I didn't. It's the thought that counts." And Gale's like, "Oh, would you give me a break with the woe is me bullshit? He could be dying. Are you going to help us or not, lady?" It's like, "Fine." And kind of waves her hand like the thing escapes back into the Phantom Zone. It's like a simple exile spell will send the thing back to wherever it came from. And Joseph's like, "The hell am I?" It's like, "Easy, big guy. We're in the witch's cottage, but we'll get you out of here and back to normal land ASAP." It's like, "Madame Dragonfly, are you all right?" It's like, yes. It's just that portal. For a moment I saw inside of it and..." He's like, And nothing. You all need to leave now." And Abe's like, "But I said now. No good can come from all of us being together like this." And he says Shrek as it comes out again, and Weird's like, "Oh." And then I remember. My mind clears. My thoughts coalesce. I know where I've seen this before. I know what happens next. It would be so easy to let it go. And if I did, maybe everything would be different. Maybe all of our lives would be better. All I have to do is nothing. If I don't act, if I just watch, it will all change. And you see, with a talkie-walkie, how long before we're due back at the space station? It's like, "We still have 5 hours, Colonel. Plenty of time to collect rock and vegetation samples from this strange moon and make it back." It's like, "Aces in that case. I think I'm going to do a little exploring. Those mountain ranges look so odd. I'd like to get a little closer look. Do you mind staying with the ship in case NASA calls?" And Talkie's like, "Colonel, every time you go off exploring on your own, it leads to trouble. He's like, you call it trouble, Talkie. I call it adventure. I'll be back in a jiff. It's like, Talkie Walkie really is a sweet old rust bucket, but she worries too much. There's nothing on this rock to worry about. Truth is, I could use some adventure right about now. Since Talkie and I broke up that ring of alien slave traders last month, our missions have been pretty dull. She has screamed. No, what? As the eye tries to latch on to Weird. And with the Kazakh is he being zapped, and you have, who? It's like, you're me! It's like, and you were me. It's like, I don't understand. It's like, neither do I, most of the time. It's like, where'd you come from? Is this some sort of time travel thing? It's like, sort of, not really. It's complicated, a pattern, very complex. It's like, this is pretty far out. There's so much I want to ask you. I mean, no offense, but what happened to us? You don't look so hot. It's like, and there's so much I would like to warn you about. Things I wish you would do differently, but I cannot. It's like, why not? It's because I was you, and when I was you, I never told you anything. It's like, that makes no sense! It's like, it does. In its own way, you will see. It's like, where are you going? It's like, one day very soon, you will see for yourself. Goodbye, Randall. As he goes back into the Phantom Zone. It goes, it is all a pattern. Things happen that must happen. We cannot change this pattern. As much as we might like to, we cannot alter our paths. All we can do is regret. And you have a, Colonel, are you all right? And this younger Colonel walks back to the ship. And in the present, you have Colonel walking back to the barn with, Colonel, are you all right? You look like you've seen a ghost. As you have the end. Alright. I'm trying to debate because this video is already half an hour. So I'm trying to debate how much more of Volume 2 I want to do. But, yeah. So, solid ending to the first volume Omnibus. I mean, it kind of makes sense. We're kind of looping back around, like, you know, like Abe kind of has, like, was trying to, like, build himself a life and kind of getting complacent with, like, being left alone and they're living out the rest of his life there. So it makes sense that something had to happen, like, drag him out of that complacency back into the real stuff. So that was interesting. I have to wonder if Anti-God is going to be somehow related to what, cause that was my first thought when we were talking about, like, what are the weird alien eye bubble thing was like, oh, it's like Anti-God somehow managed to, like, get woken up or, like, resurrected in Hammer space, so to speak. But it doesn't look like it's going to be the case, but it's going to be very interesting seeing where the next Omnibus goes from here with the storyline. But yeah, like I said, it was only the one issue to cover, so not too many more thoughts. But again, I love how the series kind of plays homage to and also kind of makes fun of the old-timey super comics. It's always a lot of fun seeing that. Really, really enjoy it. But yeah, like I said, I will do a separate video series starting for the Omnibus Volume 2. I'm looking forward to that. So with all that said, as always, if you like my content, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned, there's going to be a lot of good videos coming out today. So if you'd like to show, you know, upvote it, comment, all that stuff, it really would mean a lot to me. I'll try to get around to Alita tomorrow if I can. Until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.